Okay, this is my favorite day for our city drawing. This is the day that we get to show you guys how to draw fields, courts, and stadiums, and domes, and arenas, and it's really pretty cool. So if you look at our learning target, it says students will be able to draw fields, courts, stadiums, and domes in 1-point perspective. And it's going to be kind of unique and special as to how we do it. So make sure you pay close attention and watch the video, especially this stadium thing, as some of you guys may want to be drawing your own stadiums. Watch that video first, and then when you get ready to draw it on your own, you guys, the best success you're going to have is if you play and pause along the way. Each step as you draw along with me, making that stadium, and I think you'll find success by doing that. Let's get started. Okay, so here we go. This is the big day. We're doing some fields and courts and stadiums and domes, and we're going to start up here in this corner of our city to show you how to draw some of those things. And you guys, it may seem trickier than really what it is, but when we think about a field and a court, the difference is what's being played on, not necessarily how you draw it. So like if it's a football field or a basketball court, it's drawn very similar, but obviously on a field you have goalposts, and on a court you have basketball hoops. You can have a volleyball court or a tennis court. You have a soccer field. So be thinking about what types of fields or courts you might want to put in your city. You can have a park that has some of these just fields or courts out there. But the way I show you how to draw your field and court is like step one. And then if you want to advance, you can go do like a field or a court that has like a high school stands with it. And then the next step would be to actually do a big stadium, okay? But you really shouldn't just try to draw the big stadium all by itself right away. You need to progress through all these steps I'm going to show you. So as you go, make sure you're playing and pausing and drawing with me as we go through this step, because this can be a real tricky step. So as a matter of fact, I'm even going to zoom in a little bit tighter here on this drawing just to make sure we got the gist of it. And I'm going to start with a field or a court. So I'm just going to draw right here a straight line that's parallel to the horizon line. Now, when we draw a field or court, we've already taught you how to draw something very similar to a field or a court. And you might be thinking, I wonder what that is. And that's actually a parking lot. A parking lot is very similar to a field or court. So we're going to have a line that's parallel to this horizon line. That should be parallel. And then we're going to have two lines that are going to the vanishing point. So we got to go to the vanishing point, to the vanishing point, just like that. And then we're going to go parallel to that horizon line again, to the vanishing point right there. There's our field or court, right? It doesn't matter what it is. If it's a field, let's say it's a football field. We'll put a goalpost right here. Little flags telling us which way the wind's coming from. Like that. And then, most fields or courts have a center court or 50-yard line. Obviously, we have an end zone. Things like that. Okay. Now, if I wanted to draw, let's say, a basketball hoop, and I wanted these to be basketball hoops instead of field goals, okay, or goalposts, then what I do is, well, I'll show you up here. I would draw the base, this part here, and then there, and there's a hoop for the bottom one, like it'd be facing away from us. That'd be the similar one as that one. The one for this one would be a hoop like this. That's going to be facing toward us here like this. See that? Now say if it was soccer. I want this to be a soccer goal. The soccer goal away from us. It's going to be like this. We're just going to draw a big giant staple. Like this. And then we're going to go from the vanishing point, arch down, make our line across. We'll have some hash marks like this. For the one we're shooting in, same staple, okay, same staple just like this. And then we're going to go toward the vanishing point, bring that around, put some netting in it just like that. So that's how you would do a soccer field. Now, to start to build your stadium around. Oh, by the way, hold on. Let's go back. Some people want to do tennis. Some people may want to do volleyball. So if I go straight up right here, now this is going to look goofy in my football field. But if I go straight up right here, and I go straight across, I can make that a volleyball court. And if I wanted to make tennis, I just make it at the very base or the bottom of that. Oops, I can go all the way across here. So there's my volleyball. Okay? That's how you do volleyball. Now let's draw some stands. I can put some stands over here, you guys. I can just draw a straight up and down line like this. Okay? And actually, I want to make it, let's check that again here. I want to make it somewhat parallel to this line here, so I'm going to drop that just a tad. And then I'm going to go to the vanishing point just like this. To the vanishing point just like this. And then straight up and down. Now I'm going to angle this back like this. And then I got to take this to the vanishing point again. And I can come straight down and straight over. Now that's like my high school stance. I could put a bunch of lines in here for my seating, and that would be like my high school stadium, like Ankeny High School. Okay? Now, to turn this into a stadium, we focus on this top line. And watch this. We start to bring this top line around our field. Underneath that top line, we're going to erase everything that we drew. Okay, so this is just that top line around. Then, I'm going to draw some lines coming out like this. And I'm going to run a line parallel to that top line. I can put in some lines like this, which would be like my stands inside. I could put in some areas here like walk in maybe. Like that. Maybe we have a press box up here. Like to the vanishing point. Back down. Back down. Maybe we have a big old jumbotron up here with all sorts of stuff going on it. Maybe we have some lights. Stadium lights. Like that. So that's how you would draw a big, giant stadium. If I had a parking lot around that, maybe I have this entrance in here. And then the parking lot would go way up, and around. And that would have to go to the vanishing point. So we're going to shoot that back that way. This one's going to come across this way. And that could be like a big, giant parking lot for the stadium. Okay? Now let's talk about a dome. As hard and complicated as that stadium is, a dome is super simple. If I look over here, I'm just going to draw a dome right here. A dome is where you draw a straight line here, you curve another parallel to that, find the middle, put a dot, and you're going to connect the dot to there, and that can be your dome. It's kind of like a pie, or it's kind of like a hat. I would definitely draw it bigger if I was trying to make things more proportional, but that's how you would draw a field or a court, stadium, or dome. Alright, so that's stadiums, domes, fields, and courts, and practice it like I said. You may just want to get another sheet of paper and practice that before you put it on your final one. That's maybe what I would do, because it's a pretty complicated step. Especially if you're going to that stadium, you might want to practice on a separate sheet of paper and do that. So anyway, have fun with that step. Like I said, it's one of my favorite steps that we do, and we'll see you next art class.